So hello everyone, namaskar. Uh, so today I'm gonna talk about prime numbers. Okay, prime number programming. How to check whether a number entered by the user is prime number or not. Now tell me what is a prime number. Tell me what is a prime number. Five is a prime number. Yes or no? Yes. Five is a prime number. 11 is a prime number. 13 is a prime number. How do you know that these are prime numbers? What are the criteria? I think there should be a criteria, na? Few criteria it should satisfy. After that it will be called a prime number. Wait. After that it will be called a prime number. How do you know these are prime numbers? That means some category, some criteria they are fulfilling to become prime numbers. What is the criteria? The factors. The number of factors of 5 is 1 and 5 itself. Number of factors of 7 is also prime number, 1 and 7. Only these two numbers can divide 7, otherwise no other number can divide 7. 11, 1 and 11 only. 13, 1 and 13 only. Can you see any property? Can you see how can we change this thing into programming? Here also we will be using a for loop only. This much hint I can give you. Okay, you can, if you are watching this, you can write in the comment section also if you have already guessed it. Just see something. All are having two factors. Only two factors. No other factor. No other chhatra. No other chhatra. That is that dialogue. Okay. Only two factors. All are having. One and the number itself. Now doesn't matter whether it is one or the number itself, because it will have no other factors. So we don't have to check that whether it is one and whether it is the number itself or not. We just need the criteria is only two factors. Only two factors. No other chhatra. No other factor can divide the number, then only it is a prime number. So you have to count the number of factors uh, in the entered number. Okay, now a number entered by the user, whether it is prime or not, these kind of questions don't come actually. They will not say that user is entering 5, we just check whether it is prime or not. It's actually very easy. So the program they will give you is, they will say that print all the prime numbers from 1 to 100. All the prime numbers from 1 to 100 you just print. How will you do it? Whether you count that, okay, 2 is a prime number, then 3 is a prime number, then 5 is a prime number. Like this you will print. That will take years. So you will just do for loop. You are in classes 9 and 10. I think you know that you have to use for loop. A basic for loop, you know that when it is told that from 1 to 100 you have to print prime numbers, then how to print prime numbers, that is a separate thing. First we have to print 1 to 100 numbers. We need to know, na? We need to go from 1 to 100, all the numbers have to check whether this is prime or not, that is prime or not. So obviously we need to have a for loop where I will be equals to 1 less than equals to 100 and then I plus plus. समझ गए? This is a for loop. Inside this for loop, how to write? Inside this for loop, what to write? Inside this for loop, what to write? Now I am telling you inside this for loop what to write. Okay, let's give a star mark here and come to another page, and let's come to another page. Okay, inside this for loop the first line will be what? The first line will be what? Another for loop we have to take. For I is first value is 1. You have to check now whether 1 is prime or not. Tell me whether 1 is prime or not. Comment it, okay? Whether 1 is prime or not. Okay, comment it. Let's see. So another for loop we have to take. Let's take it J equals to Now how many factors it can have? Obviously 0 cannot be a factor. 0 we don't take actually. So 0 we don't take. 0 is a factor of every number. So 0 we don't take. So 1 from 1 it will start. Where it will go? J is less than equals to I, because I is the number actually. I is the number we need to print. So we need to check whether I number is prime or not. Now J plus plus. Inside this for loop, what I have to write? If I mod J equal mod, you know the remainder equal 0. That means I mod J equal 0 means what? If you divide I by J, then what? If you get 0, that means it is divisible by J. That means J is a factor. That means J is a factor. A number's factor will not increase, will not be greater than that number. So it will go from 1 to that number only. So I have written J from J to I. 1 to I. From J equals to 1 initial value and J to I. It will go. Now I will divide I by J and see how many factors we are having. If it gets divided, then C plus plus, that means C initial value I will give 0. So C plus plus, that means J is a factor. One factor we found. Next time again it will continue, and like this all the factors of that particular number will get stored in C variable. Then what you need to do? Then what you need to do? Then you need to check if C equal to then prime number है ना, then prime number boss, then prime number, we got our prime number. Just display that prime number. Done. Display it. Done. As simple as that. Now here one point we missed. What point do you know? First of all, you know that this thing will be outside the J for loop. This if condition which I just now showed you, it will be outside the J for loop. It will be outside it. In the J for loop, we just counting the number of factors. Outside that loop, we will check whether C exactly equal 2 or not. If it is equal 2, we will just print I. Okay, this thing you got it. If it is not equal 0, obviously we will not print I. For 1, it will not be equal 2. It will be equal 1. That means 1 is not a prime number. You see, 1 is not a prime number. Okay. Now, before starting of the J for loop, just before it starts, you have to write C equals to 0. So every time I becomes the next number, for I1, C0, first C is 0, then C will be calculated. C will become 1. It will not satisfy the condition, it is not a prime number. Then I value will be 2. Again C has to be 0. Otherwise C's previous value was 1, and it will continue like this. So every time it should be 0. It should be initialized with 0 every time. So that's why in the for loop you have to write C equals to 0. C equals to 0. This is a very important point because students miss this. Just this one line students miss, and the whole program becomes wrong. The whole program does not work because of only this line. So be very, very careful about this line. Every time C should be 0 before starting of the counting of the factors. Then if you see there is no other chhatra, then it is a prime number. Display it. Done. Okay. So I hope you got the idea about how to frame the program. You can use different variables also, doesn't matter. Computer doesn't work with the same variables only. You can just use different variables also, doesn't matter. But I think you more or less you got to know what to do, how to do. So you can frame the program in your own way. No need to memorize it blindly that after this line comes, after this line comes. You should know what to do one after the other. Okay, I think you got to know how to print prime numbers. So I think 1 to 500 also, 1 to 500 or 1 to 1000 also prime numbers you can print. In the examination also you can do it. So thank you. Stay safe. Bye bye.